Hello again, and welcome to another Sons of Cinema review. My name is Ron, and today's movie will be the 2025 action horror movie Great White Waters. This movie is an hour and 33 minutes long. It's currently on Tubi if you want to check it out. It's directed by Anthony Ferranti. It stars Angela Cole, Johnny Ramey, and Steve Hanks. So let's get into the synopsis. So spoilers, as always, spoilers. So we've got a pre-title sequence here where these people are out on a boat in the middle of the night and they're trying to retrieve these four crates that are in the ocean and that have been airdropped there. And where these crates were airdropped happens to be in the middle of like a whole territory of great white sharks. So as they're trying to work around these sharks, one of their crates ends up breaking open, and you can see that there's glass jars inside of them. You're not really sure right now what's in the jars. And this shark, well, actually, there's a couple sharks that just end up killing everybody. And the final sequence of this scene is one of the sharks jumps onto the boat and destroys the boat, and everything sinks into the ocean. And that's your beginning title sequence. The next scene we have is our main character, whose name is Gia, and she's having some flashbacks of her deceased husband. And we're not really sure how he died or what had happened, but throughout this movie, we'll get several scenes of Gia flashing back to her husband. They're all good scenes where we're establishing how much she loved him, how much she missed him, how much she's lonely, and that's the premise of her character in this movie. And the next scene we get is a scene with the main antagonist, and his name is Mr. Reverend, and those crates belong to him. He's really pissed. He wants his second in command, his name is Jareth, and he wants him to go out and lead a rescue mission to get these crates out of the ocean. So they go to retrieve these crates, and it happens that Gia happens to be fishing in the same area where this boat went down. And she apparently used to do a lot of scuba diving and do a lot of shark research with her husband. And that's how she has this really nice boat that she's out on fishing by herself. So the people on this other boat, there's four of them. They don't want to kill her because they think that she's just some innocent lady who just happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So they want to put they put their boat in between her and the wreckage so that she can't see and report, what they're doing or find out what they're trying to achieve. And as they're going down to get these crates, sharks keep fucking with them, and they can't get these crates properly. Gia happens to be doing a little scuba diving on her own, and she finds one of these glass jars. So she brings it into her boat, and she opens it, and there's tea in it, but there's also bricks of cocaine. So all these jars that are in these crates are full of cocaine, hence some kind of cartel delivery. And that's why Reverend wants the shit right away, and he wants it fast because he needs it, or obviously there's going to be big fucking trouble if he don't. So they're still trying to retrieve these crates. The sharks are fucking with them, and Gia happens to help them because on her boat she has a shark repellent kind of, I don't know if it's a sonar thing or something, that she drops in the water and it just repels sharks away. So she actually ends up saving the people that are trying to retrieve the crates on this other boat because the sharks are going ape shit and they're trying to kill everybody, and she actually saves them. And how do they repay her? They take her fucking hostage and make her go back to her boat with one of the goons from their boat and go and distract these sharks so that they can go and get these crates out of the water. And during this time, she's throwing chum in the water with like blood and guts and shit that attracts sharks, and all these sharks are coming around and they're attracted to the chum. They start fucking with her boat. and they essentially they sink the boat. They put a bunch of holes and shit in it, and then they eat the goon that's on the boat with her. So she ends up swimming back to the other people's boat, sneaks onto their boat, and what had happened previously to this is that we just found out in a twist that Gia is a DEA agent. So she was planning to be there. She knew all along what the fuck was going on. Her husband was an ex DEA agent, and she's trying to bust the Reverend with this drug run, but she has been somehow, like, they told her bosses have told her not to pursue this guy, so she's doing it anyway on her own time, kind of thing. And anyway, she gets back to the other boat. They got her at gunpoint again, and they make her go down and retrieve all the jars and all the crates that are left. There's 2 crates left because another one got destroyed while these sharks are fucking around and swimming all over and trying to kill everybody. So they busted open another crate. So Gia's down there trying to get these jars off the floors of the ocean and trying to hook up the crates so that they can take them out. And suddenly the Reverend comes flying in this helicopter, and in a scene that he really didn't need to be there, but I guess they had to close this out somehow. And at this point, we're really at the end of the movie, and he flies in to try and see where they are with these crates, and he tells Jareth to hook up these crates, 2 of them, to his helicopter so that he can fly out. He ends up killing Jareth. Basically shoots him. Like, Jareth jumps onto the helicopter and starts having a conversation with fucking Reverend, and Reverend shoots him. He falls into the water, and then the sharks start to eat him. And then one of the most ridiculous, hilarious, funniest fucking things I've ever seen, one of the sharks jumps out of the water and clamps onto one of the boxes, so the shark is hanging there. It's almost Sharknado style. If you just, that's the kind of like shit that's going on here. And they end up crashing, the helicopter ends up crashing into the boat they were using to try to retrieve the crates. One of the guys, there's this Mexican dude who's like their tech guy. He ends up getting in a raft. You think he's going to get away? Well, one of the helicopter blades cuts his fucking head off, and he's dead. And basically, it's revealed to us that one of the other ladies on the boat, her name is Teller, and Teller is a Hispanic guy. Her name is Charlotte, and she basically reveals to Gia that she's not a DEA agent, but some kind of like task force agent for some shit for drug enforcement or something. And so they're both undercover. The other girl's been working undercover for 5 years or some shit, and they end up escaping. And you see in this last scene, Reverend comes floating up to them. He's still alive, and he's in this raft, and he basically tells Gia he remembers her husband, and he actually had him fed to some dogs, and that's how he was killed. It's said later the other Charlotte, the other agent, told Gia that she had heard that that's not really how he died. He really died like a man and a hero and all this other shit, but we don't really know. They never show how he is killed. So they're survived, and they don't kill Reverend. They just make sure that he's arrested, and he's arrested at the end of the movie. And then the last scene in the movie is Gia talking with her daughter that we didn't know she had until the end, and she's just spending time with her daughter. She's listening to some flashbacks of her husband, and this is the last flashback that we see of her and her husband. And she's trying to spend some time with her daughter, and then that's the end credits. So things I liked about this movie, there's a part where there's an Asian girl that's one of the goons on this reverend's boat, and she gets killed by a shark that bites her leg off and then drags her under the water. It's pretty cool, and it's obviously the CGI is a little fake in it, but it's a decent scene. It's kind of cool to watch. It doesn't look that bad. But also, this movie shot very well. I like the way it's shot around the boat and the ocean scenes, and it's got good color to it. It's shot really well. The concept is good. I really like the concept of this movie, but the concept can only get you so far if you don't execute everything properly. And the acting isn't bad in this movie either. I don't think there was one person that I was just like, damn, this person sucks, dude. They were all pretty good actors. And the things I did not like or didn't, it's very convoluted, this movie. So convoluted. The things that they're having the sharks do, it seems like it's impossible. I don't know if sharks can jump out of water, but the scene where he's jumping out of the water onto this crate, and the shark is hanging there, and they're flying around on a helicopter, and the fucking shark is just swinging all over the place, and there's really bad CGI, and even it starts right in the beginning when you see the first shark in that pre-title sequence that jumps into the boat. You already know what you're in for at that point. You're like, okay, this is how it's going to be. So CGI, not good. The three best scenes in this movie, I think, are the beginning scene, where they're that pre-title scene where they're swimming around trying to get these crates, but it ends up a cool scene because the shark jumping onto the boat, and then the boat explodes, and we're off right away. And also there's the helicopter decapitation scene where this dude Teller, who's their tech guy, just a quick scene, blade comes. Y'all know I love decapitations, so that one's real quick and he's dead. And then the third scene that I love in this movie is the shark at the end. Just kind of, they put the boss's arm out onto the water so a shark can come by and eat his arm, and so it rips off Reverend's arm. Those are the only three scenes that were really, I think, were the best. This movie, this is a weird watch for me because I want to like it, because this movie, it's okay. In my final thoughts, this movie is okay. It takes itself seriously though, so there's not really any comedy in it. It's campy, but there's no comedy, so that's kind of hard. But it's hard to take this movie seriously because of the CGI sharks. Everything, the rest of the story isn't that bad. You can do a lot with this story because this story is basically Die Hard with sharks. You combine those two, and that's what this movie is. And it could have been so much more. And there's not many plot holes in this movie because there's not really a lot of plot to it. It's just simple. These guys just want to get these drugs from these crates. That's all they want to do. And that's the whole premise of the movie. So there's not a lot of plot holes in it. And it's okay for a first watch, like late night, have a little smoke, have a little drink, do whatever. And it's a decent movie. I'm not putting this movie on my shelf yet, but this one might grow on me if I can start to look at the Die Hard points of view of this movie more. Other than that, that's it. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. If you like this video, please like or subscribe or leave a comment. And I hope to see you guys again. Y'all have a great one. Bye.